Federal Executive Council FEC approves renewed hope of infrastructure fund for critical projects nationwide. The federal government says successful grant applicants are required to link National Identification Number (NIN) to their bank account to receive grants. Plus, oil prices extend upward momentum on expectations of tighter supply. Our guest on the we'll be looking at issues that will shape the Monetary Policy Committee meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar, your guide. Now let's bring you up to speed with business development. The Federal Executive Council has approved the setting up of Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund to bridge infrastructure deficit in the country. State House correspondent Musbaud Wahab reports that this is one of the outcomes of the Federal Executive Council meeting on Monday at the State House.
And Mr. President has also charged security agencies to ensure that these kidnappings are brought to a halt finally in this country. All those who are participating in these criminal acts will be fished out by the security agencies and will never go unpunished.
We believe that this vehicle will be one of the major vehicle and major thinking outside the boxes solution to our infrastructure gap. And we believe, hopefully by the special grace of Almighty God, that Mr. President will launch this fund after the Honorable Minister Economy Planning and Budget will have done the supplementary budget that will take care of all these critical projects.
And it largely was responsible for midwifing the phenomenal infrastructural development of Lagos, or that Lagos has witnessed, which is now a cynosure of eyes in Nigeria, which has given rise to a multiplier effect of the economy of Lagos that now makes Lagos to be the 5th largest economy in Africa, larger than over 30 countries in Africa. It is this special purpose vehicle that has been able to attract the needed foreign investment into infrastructural development. That is the prototype that is being created here for the nation at large.
And it's essentially free money. 30 years, 10 years moratorium and 1% interest rate. So it's the kind of bilateral support that doesn't put a strain on Nigeria financially and of course helps in the agricultural sector. In addition, I did share with the Federal Executive Council Mr. President's approval of a request to set up an economic management team task force to, over the next 6 months, implement major measures aimed at growing the economy, increasing production, thereby creating jobs and reducing poverty.
This will go a long way to support young businesses and bring a lot of succor to young persons. The strategy that actually stands out in the implementation of the new or the revamped Youth Investment Fund will be the establishment of clusters. And clusters will ensure that young people cross-guarantee each other, and the clusters will be focused on commodities of comparative advantage across the 6 geopolitical zones.
The federal government has assured that it has launched a manhunt for the suspect in the ongoing criminal probe into the activities of Binance in Nigeria. Nadim Anjawale escaped from lawful custody in the country. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, gave the indication while fielding questions from State House correspondents of the development.
The manhunt on him, the Interpol has also been contacted, and government is optimistic that this individual will be brought to book very soon. And those who were charged with the responsibility of keeping him in custody have also been arrested, and they have been questioned. And as more information as regards that is available, it will be made available to Nigerians.
For us in revenue, it doesn't matter because we are dealing with company, not individual. So irrespective of where they are in the world, we have what it takes to make sure that they come and they comply with our law. So it doesn't matter whether the man is here or anywhere in the world. As long as we have Binance, there is no way they will escape the compliance matter that we file against them. So
the federal government has mandated all applicants of the Presidential Trade Grant Program to link their national identification numbers to their bank accounts to be eligible for the proposed grants. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Adite, stated that this requirement complies with the Central Bank of Nigeria's recent directive of account verification with name. She explained that the ministry intends to send a text message through FG grant loan to applicants asking for their name to be submitted for verification through a secure link. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it has sold $10,000 to each BDC at the rate of 1,251 naira to a dollar. Circular to Bureau d'Echange Operators by Director of Trade and Exchange Department of CBN, Dr. Hassan Mahmoud, says each BDC is instructed to sell the dollars to eligible customers at a rate not exceeding 1.5% above the purchase price. This suggests BDC are not expected to sell above 1,269 naira to a dollar. This is the second tranche of sale of FX to eligible BDCs. And out energy oil prices were on track to gain for a second straight day on Tuesday after settling up more than $1 on expectations of a tighter supply driven by Russian production cuts and attacks on Russian refineries. Brent crude rose 23 cents to $86.98 a barrel. U.S. West Texas crude futures climbed 28 cents to $82.23 a barrel. Crude oil gained on supply side issues and continued Middle East tensions. Both contracts settled $1.32 higher in the previous trading session. And now to commodities. Now let's take a trip to the commodities. And now to our discussion segment, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria will today brief press on the outcome of their meeting. But before then, let's talk about issues that will likely shape the committee's decision. With me to discuss this is Yusho Aliu, who joins us, is an economist who joins us via telephone. You're welcome to Business Express, Mr. Yusho.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Musa.
Okay, beautiful. From the last meeting the MPC had, how's your assessment with the way things have played out so far? But because we've seen inflation figures have actually increased rather than decelerate.
Yes, like I said the other time, I was not expecting the rate to be increased. But however, I am thinking that the MPC meeting that is coming very recently will not increase any rate, but will have to sustain the moderation because it is a the result, especially that the action of the central bank in trying to regulate the BDC's markets. We have seen improvement in the Naira exchange rate with the US dollar.
Okay. Recently we've seen also the central bank has somehow supported the Ministry of Agriculture in a way of extending its own hand of friendship so that we can see the inflation component of the fiscal side of everything somehow balanced, to see how a monetary policy instrument can be used to complement that of the fiscal policy side. How do you think this will actually impact on the price stability?
I think what we are expecting in trying to maintain price stability, we are expecting the bank to increase the moderation of exchange rate. That is one. Second, we want to see also the monetary policy committee to have a handshake with custom and excise and other agencies responsible for managing our borders, especially that the supply bottleneck, which we have emphasized over a very long period of time, that until we are able to reach the supply challenges in the economy, moderation of prices may be difficult as a result of many diseconomies that affected the economy, especially insecurity that did not provide much that is expected from the agriculture. We have also seen bottlenecks of flooding that has took away a lot of production, and therefore there is need for the central bank to look into the issue of having enough supply bottlenecks, because the inflation is mostly associated with food inflation in rural areas and as well as in urban areas.
Okay, you talked about that you might not, you think that there might not likely be any change in this monetary policy committee decision, which we're expecting later in the day. Does it mean that the central bank should give up on its decision or target of seeing that inflation has been brought down to somehow encouraging small and medium-scale enterprises in terms of interest rate? Does it mean they should give up in terms? Does it mean they should give up on that in favor of maybe reducing the rate?
No, I think since the bank has already increased by 400 basis points, the MPR is enough for at least the 90 days. I'm expecting to continue to manage the moderation that is recorded, and also to carefully monitor other challenges that is facing the economy that will regulate prices in the economy, especially, like I said initially, this bank in its effort to clear the outstanding balances of dollar rate to different bodies is encouraging.
Okay. Then what should be the expectation of consumers and businesses out there?
The expectation of consumers must continue to work with their income, and also to work not only based on their required taste, but also to look at the value of the currency and look at the economy within them and make certain adjustments. Unless that is done, inflation that is above 30% will continue to hit the market, especially that the production of agricultural activity will soon commence, and if it is commencing, the cost of input is higher.
Okay, the FX, what do you think should be sustained in the FX market? We've seen quite a commendable reform from central bank. Recently, they just cleared the backlog of FX. And recently, just yesterday, they also gave about $10,000 to BDCs, directing them to sell at a particular, not more than a particular rate. How do you see these efforts can be sustained going forward?
The bank should continue to watch the scenario and also watch the interventions of other fiscal measures taken by the government. If that is sustained, there is possibility to continue to contain the situation.
So are you seeing a reduction, an increase, or just maintaining the particular rate?
No, I'm not seeing a reduction in general price, but the moderation in general, because, like I said, two factors are very significant in our economy. First is to look at the large population and also the large demand in the population, and also you look at the supply bottleneck, which is yet to be attended to.
Okay. Thank you very much, Isho Aliu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. And now let's look at other developments in line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government to reduce the cost of commodities and poverty level across the country. Cement, one of the critical building materials used for construction, has dropped in price. The move, developers say, it's a step in securing more accommodation for vulnerable Nigerians to have shelter for their households.
The cost of building materials has continued to be on the high side. For instance, cement, which is critical to construction of major infrastructure and housing projects, is still costly, even when a bag is now 8,000 naira as against 13 and 15,000 naira sold in recent past. Already, the sudden rise in the cost of cement, some weeks ago to the tune of 13 to 15,000 naira, has thrown developers into confusion, as most building sites have been deserted and work abandoned. It was, however, a sigh of relief when the cost of cement through the intervention of key stakeholders dropped to 9,500 naira per 50 kg bag.
The cost of cement today is too high. We buy bags of cement a day at the rate of 13,000 naira. But today is gradually declining. Yesterday I bought at the rate of 9,500. It has been affecting my business. As I speak to you now, we encounter many problems. We see low patronage from our clients. They don't come as a result of the high cost of the building materials.
The common man, which is workmen like us, who is not receiving salary or good salary, cannot afford it. So we don't know where the country is taking us to. So I don't really know. So I want to let the government to come into this matter.
Most builders decided to stop their building because of the price hike.
It's necessary at this point that government should engage in construction of low-cost houses to reduce the cost of individual persons going into building. It will help a lot.
With the economy biting hard on Nigerians, stakeholders have sued for low-cost houses to be constructed for not just workers, but other vulnerable people to reduce the urban-rural migration currently trending in the country. They, however, call on the government to further scheme for reduction of the cost of cement and other building materials, which has tripled the cost of construction as well as infrastructure, to enhance affordability and accessibility of houses and reduce the suffering of the common man. In Yeneguabayo State Capital, Doris Akomonye.
Well, British International Investment has pledged $65 million to support the expansion of exports of Indorama and Leme fertilizer and chemicals in Nigeria. This financing agreement is a part of a larger $1.25 billion financial package designed to assist Indorama, Sub-Saharan Africa's foremost fertilizer manufacturer, in augmenting its production capabilities and establishing a new port terminal for exporting purposes, thereby enhancing global food production and ensuring food security. The investment is earmarked for the construction of Indorama's third production line for nitrogenous urea fertilizer, aiming to boost its annual output to 1.4 million metric tons. A new shipping terminal presently being built at Indorama's site in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, will support the new production facility. Together, they are set to address the increasing worldwide need for fertilizer and are anticipated to generate as many as 8,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities. At the capital market is a bearish close for the first weekday of trading on the equities market as 30 NGX listed equities end this session in negative territory. The all-share index fell by 0.49% to close at 104,136.35 basis points. A total of 306.8 million shares in 9,343 deals corresponding to a market value of 11.3 billion naira were traded. Equity capitalization decreased to 58.8 trillion naira as Ella Lakes led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation closing at 3 naira 63 kobo per share. Let's now go to the global scene where we will now take a look at how trading have begun this morning. We end today's edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. Business Express returns tomorrow, Wednesday at 3 p.m. I am Musa Abubakar. Thanks for your company.